Welcome to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast, your home for the latest products and news in the shooting sports, hunting, and the great outdoors. And now, here are your hosts, Jake Cawthon and Jason Westmoreland.
Hey everybody, Jake and Jason here, come at you live from another wonderful podcast. This one's going to be a fun one.
So first of all, you might notice if you're watching this on the YouTubes or anywhere else, we've actually, a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Getting a little more professional.
Trying to decorate.
So every time somebody else starts listening, we're like, let's put more effort into it. So now we have this awesome desk that Jake made from all this cool reclaimed wood we had.
Well, it's kind of a neat story about the wood, and what's fun about the table, it ties back to some of the front of the building.
Yeah.
Is that so when we decided to build the new location here, the Anderson Baptist Church here in town, they had a house next door to them called the Parker House. I guess a family named Parker lived there a long time ago. Either way, that they needed demolished, and it was just full of cool wood and
awesome,
like little accent stuff that we wanted to use for the building. And so we helped the church, and we demolished it for them. But while we demolished it, we salvaged a ton of wood from it. And during the process of demoing the house, just down the road from the Parker House, literally like a block maybe, is Texas historical site, the Fanthorpe Inn.
The Fanthorpe Inn, which if you've never been there, it is, well, you can't go right now because it's under renovations, but it is incredible.
Well, what it was a historic stagecoach stop for people along the, not the Bahia Trail, it's the Camino Real.
Yep.
And
that's right there.
And it's on a lot of, historic maps of Texas. It was a big place. And so while we were tearing it down, one of the folks with the Texas Historical Commission stopped by and said, "Hey, do you know what you're doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't need a permit. I mean, I'm already good there." We were told it was nothing of historical significance. He goes, No. We're not mad about it. We just want to know if you know everything about the Parker House, because we do." And so they told us that in the late 1830s, there was a fire at Fanthorpe Inn, and they had to demolish a lot of the building and rebuild it, right? And some of that salvaged lumber was used to build the Parker House,
which true pioneer fashion.
Yep. It was one of the oldest houses there in Anderson. And so the front door, the swing door at the bar, and now this table was all made from the beams of the house, which were the beams of Fanthorpe.
Yep.
And so this wood
is 200 years old.
About as old as the state of Texas is. Yeah. And if you look at it, ever come up one day, it's all hand hewn. In the cross space here, you can see all the axe cuts. One of the horizontal supports actually still has bark on the outside from where they cut down the tree. It's super neat.
Then you can see the old blacksmith handmade nails and all of it. It's just super cool.
I'll take a photo of it one day, put it online for everybody to see. But it's super neat, and you can see all the details and stuff in the front door of the building, and more than happy to talk about it. But it was our way of trying to pull a little bit of old Texas into the store.
Heck yeah. And super utilitarian, because we needed a good desk to have the show from. We still got a lot of tweaking to do. We're going to do the camera instead of from the front angle. We're going to do it from the side, where we can have our desk, our guest over there. But yeah, we're moving on up.
So the one last thing about the table that I just found kind of interesting, kind of humorful while I was building it, is the trees and stuff we use now are they're genetically modified to grow as fast as possible, so we get more lumber, right? This stuff here, the growth rings are just how it grew, is they're super tight. And so as I'm trying to cut it with my miter saw, it absolutely hated every second of it. It is so tough. And I'd be sitting there trying to cut through it, because typically I just go whap and bust right through it. I'd have to slowly take my time, because it was starting to bog down my...
like going through Bodark wood.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to get out. So.
Start throwing sparks.
Mm-hmm. So
cool.
That's my table story.
Heck yeah. Well, hey guys, before we go any further, if you get the chance, if you like the show, if you want to like and subscribe, we would appreciate it.
So far they are.
I know.
We appreciate it. That's really a big deal for us. Yeah.
And that word of mouth, that's how we're getting around. So yeah, we've got listeners now in
all the continents except Antarctica.
Yeah, I was going to say 6, and I'm really disappointed in that 7.
Yeah, I mean, there's a penguin somewhere that needs to tune in. So if you know any penguins, let them know.
Absolutely. So yeah,
tell them I'm in them. Or scientists. There better be a scientist in Antarctica. They can listen to us.
Probably.
Come on. Let's go for 7
I
or
would
7.
think there's like secret military bases. I don't know.
Something.
Aliens.
I guarantee, I don't know anyone's been to Antarctica. I don't even know if it's real. But
Ooh.
but if you're going to hide a secret space base, that's where I'd put it. The bottom of the world, I've seen enough James Bond movies. You know where
Only if you look at an American globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere else, we're not the center of attention. Like, we're not.
Well, that's their problem.
I know.
Their maps are wrong.
I agree. America.
Either way, though, if I was a supervillain, you know where I'd put my secret lair? A giant ice fortress.
Oh,
That's what we learned from Superman.
we're different. Yeah, inside a volcano, sir.
I mean, that's your second option.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Fire and ice.
yeah.
It's true.
Well, secret base in ice, secret missile spaceship
Yeah.
at a volcano because it's already missile silo shaped.
Exactly. It is. It's already expecting something to come out of the top of it.
Exactly.
They'll never know. They'll just think it's a little random eruption.
They're gonna know.
They're neither gonna know. Oh man! So today, what we gotta talk? We have been preparing, getting ready. We are excited. We have and the first time we've ever done this together, we're going bear hunting.
Going on a bear hunt.
Yep, in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So most of us have heard talk about our good friend James. He's our trout guide up there, but we've become good friends over the year.
Is it Legion?
Legion.
I don't know. Legion. I don't know. I'm going to call it that from now on. Legion.
It's fancy.
He is one of the top tier fly fishing guides out of Ennis. He is. If you want to get put on the fish,
Big fish.
go with him and listen to what he says.
Hey, we're so excited about it. We're trying to just do what he says.
Don't do what you think you want to do because you're experienced.
And don't ask him to show you how, because he's going to embarrass you in a way that it hurts. It hurts to your soul.
The man can fish.
Yeah, because you're out there doing all the stuff, and you're like, yeah, I got this, and he's like, doo-doo-doo. And then like giant fish like that.
Yeah, he's next level. He's good. Mm-hmm. But we went as beginners, novices, like.
Yeah, just took a chance.
And now we've been going with him for years, and he's got us ate up with it. He's good. He'll get you excited about it, and he'll put you on the fish. So
He'll make you go home and spend $1,000 on a fly setup.
and we become buddies with him.
Yep.
And we become such good buddies.
We're going bear hunting.
We're going bear hunting with him. So he's invited us. He's been scouting. He's
He's been sending me Onyx pins. He's got it all figured out.
and found the bear. Found where they were hibernating. Found
He actually found a den the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So this is going to be about going west.
Going west, getting the bears. We're rifle hunting.
Kind of like Toby T. told us to.
Yep. Hey, there you go. RP.
Well, I mean, we're not going to California, but I hear they're full of women in gold.
Yeah. Haven't you been told?
I have been told.
So
We're going to talk about our preparations for the bear hunt, kind of what we do for most of our hunts, and then we'll spend a little time talking about how you can go to the west, because it's daunting, 100%. Just everything that's involved with it.
Yeah. So first of all, I've figured something out about you. We haven't talked about.
Uh-oh.
So for those of you who don't know, Jake's dad was a Texas Ranger. Jake himself has been in law enforcement, game warden, all that stuff. And we've hunted together for a long time now. And we've been in some pretty hairy situations. But I like Jake, and I figured this out why. I'm always like, man, that dude, like, he'll see a goal, let's say elk, for example, that are 7 miles away. And he's like, we can get to them.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't worry about his way back. It's taken me a while. It's actually our buddy Steve Knoll who like opened my eyes to it. He's like, well, yeah, he doesn't have to worry about getting back. I was like, why do you say that? He's like, because he's got you. Like, that's why he takes you. He's been in that operator level in that he relies on his team. His team is to go and kick the door done, get the job done. Your job's everything else. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I've never thought of it like that. With that in mind, it's all about the team you take, especially on a long hike in like this. And we're taking
You got roles. You really do.
We're taking some exceptional people. One that I'm super excited about is Travie.
Oh, yeah. You talk about
It's gonna be forged by fire like nothing else.
he's gonna leave a boy but come home a man. It's gonna be good.
So who is Travis?
So Travis is my son. He is
This is the best part.
9 days shy of turning 12.
Yep. And we are going to pack in for five days into the mountains in Montana chasing bear. Mm-hmm. And
It's fun for several reasons. But my favorite one because he's scared of the dark.
and we haven't been sugarcoating the bear thing. And Jake actually told him, like,
and I'm up front.
yeah, it's like, Travis, I want you to understand the reason we're taking you is twofold. One, so you can have the experience, and two, because I can run faster than you. So if a brown bear gets after it, I got a little way out.
And so I told him this, and the fun way is how I told him because James, I mean, we text every day. He's so excited about that we're coming up to go with him, and we are too.
Oh yeah.
So James hits me up. He goes, "Hey, good news! I got us a bear fence."
Yeah.
Is because where we're going has the second highest concentration of grizzlies outside of Yellowstone in the lower 48 states.
Yep.
And more specifically, I think he told me it's like 60-40 grizzlies to black bear where we're going. And we can only hunt blacks. You can't hunt grizzly bear in the lower 48.
Yeah.
So we got us this basically electric fence so they can't bother us while we sleep.
And I believe it's the area we're going has the highest percentage of fatalities or brown bear attacks in the lower 48.
Oh yeah, it's up there. So I mean,
they've already claimed 2 this year.
Yeah, we're
They ate the people in the tent.
It's borderline dumb, but like 100% fun. So I mean, you're right on that
I
razor's
mean, that's all the
edge.
good stories, right?
And so we're sitting in the living room, and I laugh and I tell Travis because I'm keeping him in the loop because if he's man enough to go, I want him to go. It'd be a great experience for the two of us. But at the same time, if he wants to make the decision not to go, I want it to be his call to where Daddy told me I couldn't go, right?
Yeah.
It's his call. I don't care what he wants to do, but let's go, right? And so I tell him, and he's real serious. He goes, okay. And I go, yeah, it's good news because I'm glad you're going with us because I don't have to run as fast anymore. I don't have to beat Jason or James out of the way. I just have to beat you because the bear's going to get the closest one to it, right? And he's just dead serious. And my wife not paying attention, but she hears it and just looks up from her little Kindle she was reading. She goes, I swear to God, if a bear eats Travis on this trip, not only will I kill you, I will bring you to life and continue to kill you until I'm tired of it.
So I've had this tradition. I don't know what started it about 8 years ago, to where every time we go hunting or fishing together, or he goes by himself.
Yeah, more specifically by myself.
Specifically, I get a shirt saying, I hope whatever he's hunting eats Jake. So one says, I hope a bear eats Jake, or I hope a shark eats Jake, or I hope a reindeer eats Jake. Yeah. Whatever the hunt he's on.
Yeah, there's a whole series of them now. It's fun.
So we all, everybody else go and hunt and say, hey, well, you should get one that says, I hope a bear eats Travis.
And Becca did not think that was funny at all.
And at all. But then we started, it was Dave. Dave's like, what if a bear does eat him? And we were all like on the news wearing a shirt that say, I hope a bear eats Travis. And we're just like, man, I don't know what happened. We were really trying to take care of him.
Yeah. Yeah. We went out of our way.
A hard one to, no, I'm super excited about him.
And I am too, because this is, as you raise a kid, or especially a young man as like Travis, right?
He's a boy.
I'm raising
he's
myself.
All boy.
Yeah, he's pure boy, right? 100% like red blood American boy. Great kid. I love him to death, right? But he doesn't always take school serious, and he doesn't take a lot of stuff serious because, he's 12 and kind of goes off,
I was going to say he's
right?
a real boy.
Yeah. Every day he comes home, or in the evening, he's like, Dad, I looked this up. Hey, here's some, we're talking about good gear because he's going to need some quality gear. He's like, Dad, I found, here's a jacket I like. Here's some boots I like. Here's this, here's that. Like, he's on it. He is 100%
Well, you found something
tuned
digs,
in.
man.
Like, that's his jam. And I was like, you know what? Good for this is what I want for him.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're obviously going to take care of him.
Oh,
we'll put our lives down way before his.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, so we know I'm going.
Travis.
And then we have Dave Lewis.
So Dave and I have been really good friends for a long time now. We were actually partners together when we both worked for Parks and Wildlife. And we've been through some pretty crazy adventures together, some really, really crazy adventures. And he's going to go with as well. And, I'm excited for him.
He's probably one of the most extreme people I've ever met, and easygoing and funny. But if Dave decides he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
100%. But at the same time, he's the type of guy that'll go out of his way to help you in anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, he's always going to put the other guy first, and he'll take. He's a truly exceptional human being, and I feel privileged to know him. Yeah, we've had a couple cool trips. I know you went on a bear hunt with him 2 years ago.
Oh, it was longer than that now.
Has it been
7 years.
No.
That first year we moved in the new store, or the old store,
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
My gosh, time flies, man.
in a hurry.
Yeah. So he's already. You and him already have a little experience. Colorado, different type of
Yeah.
hunt. You're kind of driving up there, not packing in like this. We've had a couple good pack in hunts together. So going to be super exciting. So we've got a good team, and then we got Travi who's gonna eventually become a solid leg part of the table. He's gonna be a part of the foundation.
I'm excited to
but
see
we're
where
getting there.
I'm excited to see where his future goes because, and this is how I know I was raising a kid right. As we're trying to get better at the social thing, I've been very vocal how I hate TikTok and I hate the goofy little videos and it's just not my thing, right? Different. At this point, I can say different
Do
generation.
you really?
Yeah. Anyways, I don't mind making a fool of myself, but not just because I'm doing a TikTok dance or something dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that last year, because the way Anderson ISD here, the elementary is K through 5th, and then the high school, middle school is 6th through 12. And so he's in 6th grade now. And they do a elementary school graduation, and all the kids walk up and say, hey, what do they want to be? And there's standard stuff like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a professional sports player, I want to be a lawyer or cop or firefighter. But how many of them were like, I want to be famous on YouTube, I want to be a TikTok star? And I'm like,
I want to be a content creator.
yeah, and it just gave me Forrest Whitaker eye. I'm just like, I hate everything about this. And then here comes my son with this just shit-eating grin on his face. And I was like,
He's been waiting for this moment.
and my wife and I look at each other like, this is either going to go one of two ways. This is about to be absolutely awful because he's got his moment. He's in front of a crowd. He's me. He likes to be the center of attention. And he just grabs the mic. He goes, I want to go pro in duck hunting, and just leans it back and walks off the stage. I was like, one,
Solid answer.
but two, I was like, that's probably the best I could have hoped for in
Best
that
case
situation.
scenario. Yeah, you're sitting there, the Homer Simpson, don't be the boy, don't be the boy, don't be the boy. Don't. Oh.
So I'm excited.
Yeah. So is he doing any special training, or
mean,
is he doing like us, trying to get rid of the fat belly? And
He's 12, so
Yeah,
he
he
runs
doesn't-
around and plays. He
Has he
at
put a
church and school, and
has he put a pack on?
he actually did this weekend.
Did he?
So
That's the-
so the youth group there at the church, they went on a camping trip, and I watched them. I'm I can see him his bedroom from my living room. We got that pack. He's loading everything, and he has a little checklist like I've taught him to. And he goes, "Okay, Dad, I need this, this, and this." He goes, "Can I borrow some stuff?" I said, "Sure. Let's go to my closet, right, in my hunting stuff." And I pull out all my good gear and I load them up, and he had it all packed out. Apparently, they hiked in and he slept out in the woods and had a whole
Nice.
thing. And like he came back like, if he was at a 10, he's like at a 15 now. He's like, I got this.
Cool.
He had his little, basically like his little check run.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm good with this. Let's roll.
Nice. Yeah, that's the. So obviously for a 12-year-old, it's not an issue, but we do have the fat belly. A little bit, and not bad. We stay in shape. Cardio's the big deal, right?
Carbs or cardio?
Cardio.
I'm bigger
What
in
is that?
I'm bigger in carbs than I am
Isn't
cardio.
that in Zombieland? Isn't that like rule number 1? Cardio.
Oh yeah.
And that's definitely for the mountains,
after then double tap.
double tap.
That's a great movie, by the
It
way.
really is. But the cardio couldn't be more true. We're not going to extreme high elevations like we've done before. I think we're going to be around 7,000 feet.
Which sounds high, but
It ain't.
it's all the difference in the world.
It is. There's
It almost
something.
makes you cocky though. You're like,
There's something about 8,000 feet that once you start getting into that threshold, then there's 9, and at 10 you start to get miserable. By the time you hit 12, you made a mistake.
yeah, you're like too far.
But it's a blast. So we're at like 7,000 feet. Cool.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this.
Let's make it happen.
So I'm doing a lot of the rower, the elliptical, just pushing myself harder and harder, a little bit every day, putting the pack on. Last year I used the oxygen deprivation mask a lot. I don't think I benefited anything. By the time we got up there in the higher elevation, I don't think it did anything for me.
See, I watched a video the other day. It was like some on ESPN I was watching, and I forget the school now, but they have built a workout room that's sealed, like a hyperbaric chamber in its own way, and they can actually adjust the oxygen and nitrogen levels. They'll pump it in and out. That will change the elevation that they're training at.
Mimic the where they're going.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And so we need that. This kind of same idea they do for some of the Olympic athletes and stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah. Where we put it too. I cannot imagine what that stun gun cost.
We can make it in here. Just I want to take some duct tape and
a little air pump will suck all the air out.
Yeah. Or just a compressor in here and push the compressed air in. Mm-hmm. Cool.
I made my own scuba kit that way one time. Put a blow nozzle in the end of a snorkel. Mm-hmm. Me and my buddy. Funny story. His mom thought we killed ourselves. Like full on panic, call the cops, whole 9 yards, because we had tied our. This is why I worry about my child. That we had tied ourselves to a lawn chair, like the patio furniture, and we jumped in the deep end of a swimming pool, and we had to weigh ourselves down. We had the air compressor. We would purge the snorkel, take a deep breath, and we were in the water for like an hour and a half, just buddy breathing, just passing back and forth. And she comes home. We're both at the bottom of the pool. Apparently, the air compressor wasn't running. She thought we drowned. It was a whole thing.
Nice.
It worked, though.
But it worked. That's all that matters.
It's not stupid if it works.
I'm not doing anything too special for. We're talking about training. I'm not doing anything too special for zeroing or anything like that because I'm using a tried and true rifle. So I do have to take it out to the range, shoot it a couple times, make sure it holds zero, but it has a night force on it, and it's a Tikka. So super light. The Tikka Veil, about 6 pounds. Whole rig weighs it about 8.5 pounds because I have the suppressor and fully loaded and everything. So I just need to get out and shoot that a couple times. But
I'm headed tomorrow to load another batch of it. So the ammo that my rifle, my 6.5 Creedmoor likes, I can't get anymore. They quit making it, and so I'm trying to recreate it a little bit. And I think I found a recipe.
That's what you decided you're going with, Creedmoor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got to know by now.
It's going to be my Creedmoor. Just because I don't think I can get the 7 done in time. I might. We'll see. That I had 2 different recipes. I had some that would use Winchester Stable 6.5 and some that used H4350. And my gun happens to like or group better with the 4350. So I'm gonna load up another 10 and just verify that. If that's the case, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of it. I'll have a recipe done, and that rifle will be good to go. So I think I'll take the 6.5, and that's really all I'm doing crazy with it. I have it set up the way I want it. It's a
that's where I'm at.
Custom build 6.5 that I did several years ago. Good scope. It's lightweight enough. I think it weighs like probably 8.5 pounds, fully loaded.
Yeah. Perfect.
And
because ounces equal pounds in the mountains, especially when that elevation change, you start climbing up the mountain. Everything sucks. Mm-hmm. But
so much fun. So it's the same rifle I've taken for several years. I shot a bear with it 2 years ago. I'm happy with it. My only worry and why he keeps bringing up the 7A is I'm almost done with my 7 PRC build, and I'd like to do something with it. It's just in the back of my mind, even though I got a 44 mag revolver on me in case something bad happens with the Grizzly, it'd be nice to have just a little more punch than a Creedmoor against a bear skull.
I mean, that's a decision you got to make quick.
Yeah.
Do I toss the rifle down and grab my revolver, or do I, try to put around with the rifle?
Oh no, that's combatives 101, sir. A handgun only gets you. Your only reason to fight with the handgun is to fight back.
Man,
to your rifle.
if I have a bear that's charging that quick at that close, I think, and I have a scoped rifle, bolt action. Mm-hmm. I think I could probably get 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds off with that pistol. Whereas I've got pretty much one shot with. I mean, they move at 40 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, they're quick.
So I think that would be one of the rare scenarios where I'm probably going for the pistol if it's closed that quick. Mm-hmm. Now, if he's running at me and you know what, you got to take into consideration, is he bluffing?
Oh, yeah.
Is my life in imminent danger? And most people who are listening to this say, hey, if I got a grizzly bear running at me full speed,
Well, that was
I'm going to shoot it.
that was James's story from this last elk season. He sends me a text off his inReach and goes, got a funny story when I get home. I go, all right, cool. And he comes home, he's like, man, you're never going to believe this. I screwed up bad. I was like, well, you're alive, so it can't be that bad. He was camping up in the mountains, and he was elk hunting, and he woke up because he was camping just about where he was spotting from. And he said he woke up, made breakfast, cup of coffee. Coffee did its job. He had to go use the restroom. So he goes, I didn't think anything of it. My rifle's over there. I kind of went over just a little outside of camp to do my business. He goes, there's this little ledge. So I'm sitting there looking at creation, pants around my ankles, doing my business. And I catch motion on my left eye. And I look over, and he goes, there's a juvenile grizzly 40 yards from me. Apparently, it was on the underside of the ridge, and I spooked it, and it popped its head over to take a look at me. He goes, my rifle's 50 yards. I got my pants around my ankles, can't go nowhere, can't do nothing. So all I could think of is, he goes, I screamed, get away, bear! And he goes, I freaked the grizzly out, and it hauled ass. He goes, I've never been more relieved or pooped faster in my entire life.
Yeah. That'll help you go.
Yeah.
For sure. I can't wait to get a story like that.
Oh, yeah, it's golden.
But what a shitty way to die if he would have came after him.
Oh, if I would have found him like that, I'd made up a great story.
Yeah.
You're like, there he was, Bowie knife in hand and pistol in the other, just dry.
Bowie
just
knife
going
in
at
one
it.
hand, toilet paper in the other, going at him. You taking anything special this time? I know, packs are...
So a lot of it, that's as you go along, and this is something I talk to people about all the time when they're going out west for the first time. The gear list is daunting, right? Especially the cost, the startup cost to get the good stuff.
That's any hobby, though.
It's any hobby.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, I don't have to change as much because I'm buying the best I can at the time. I bought an EXO Mountain Gear pack, which is top of line pack. I've got top of line. I run Scree and Sitka camo and base layers. I've got Kenetrek boots. My rifle, I'm running top tier Vortex glass on both the rifle and my binos and my rangefinder.
Those Kenetreks too, man. They, I got I guess they're longer ones, the winterized ones. They're the insulated. Mm-hmm. Dude, they're ankle savers.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing I learned on the last hike that last time was the first time I used them, and I'll never not go on a mountain trek again without them is the walking sticks. Mm-hmm. Dude, they take so much off you. It's insane.
I'd actually say I'm sitting here today with all my pieces, parts, and limbs because of my Kenetrek boots last year. I got in a spot. I found this. I was looking at a map. I was like, man, this is a good looking little
Topography maps lie.
They lie 100%. Even if you know how to read the lines, they lie, right? And so I get and I'm walking down this big trail, and I found this great opening, and I was like, man, it's like an animal highway, and it's not. And if you look, there's animal paths and human paths look different, and I know I'm on a game trail, not a hike like a human hiking path. But up above me is like this ridge, and I could tell the mountain kind of goes up, and I was like, okay, I want to be there because then I can look down and I can
Just
see
a little ridge.
It's probably like a 500-yard clearing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I look up and I'm like, man, it's kind of steep. I was like, it's not that bad. I'm gonna give it a try. And so as I start going up and up and up, what I don't realize is that the grass was hiding like the midpoint, and it turned into nothing but scree and shale, which is just decomposed rock. And now I'm too high to go back down because it's steep.
Yeah.
But I still have to go all the way up. And every step I would take, I was kicking rock and dirt out from underneath me to where I at one point, I've got like a $6,000 rifle in one hand. I'm jabbing into the ground with the stock as a way to brace me, and then I've got my feet, and I'm just shimming, and I'm talking to myself like, okay, you're fine. We're going to be fine. Let's just take a breath. And, you set little teeny tiny goals. And I'd be like, all right, 3 feet away is a clump of like what we would call buffalo grass here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that looks sturdy enough. We'll make it there. We'll take a break.
At that point, you're almost mountain climbing. You're looking for grips.
It's exactly what I was
yeah.
doing. And, you know, I'd be just wedged in, or there'd be like a little crevice. And if it wasn't for the fact those Kinetrex grip the mountainside so well, I'd probably be dead. Because by the time I got to the top, I'd climbed 150 yards in a straight line, but it was 31 degrees, 29 degrees at an angle. And it was brutal. But boots make all the difference in the world.
And when you're on that shell, and if it starts, like it's like a little avalanche. You don't know when it's going to stop, how far you're going to go. You're kind of at the mercy of God at that point.
Yeah, it was. I was blessed that day.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I grabbed this year that's going to be different, especially than like last year, I'm going to vacuum seal, mainly because of Travis especially, little meal kits. You know, it'll be like a whole day in a little vacuum seal pack. And that way it take up less space.
You're not doing like the dehydrated meals?
I'll have those, but I'm kind of figure out our breakfast, our lunch, dinner kind of snack idea.
Yeah.
That way we're getting the calories that we need, but at the same time just trying to save space. But the biggest thing that I'm excited about this year, took a gamble, it's paid off so well so far, is that last year when we got stuck in that blizzard, and I don't think it's going to be that cold now, but you just never know, especially where we're at and the elevation will kind of be at. You know, it's different than, because the forecast we're getting are from a town like an hour away, not necessarily up in the mountains, is that a lot of these companies like Seek Outside, Argali, there's a couple others that sell little titanium collapsible backpacking stoves.
Baby stoves.
And it looks like a little baby wood burning stove because that's what it is. But they're like $400 to $500, and I'm cheap, right? And sometimes. But I was looking on, there's a great website called Rockslide, and I was looking on there, and a guy had posted up that he had found one on AliExpress, which is just basically Chinese Amazon. And I had ordered one in. It was $150 delivered. I had it in under 2 weeks. And so far, I've been playing with it. It's phenomenal. It collapses flat. It weighs 2.5 pounds. My teepee is an Argali Abrasoka that it's got a high temp silicone stove jack in the side of it, so I can actually put it in the middle and run the stove out the top. I can cook on it. I can keep us warm. If we get into rain, it'd be nice because we can actually put our gear around it and it'll help dry out our gear. So I think that would have been a big difference for when we got stuck in the snow last year. That you could have rid it out for a day or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have.
Yeah. We could have lasted a little longer. Oh, we could.
Yeah, could have.
No, we almost died. Yeah. I can't.
No. So I'm excited about that, and then
that'll be. I haven't got it yet. I'm getting just a little personal tent there. I know Dave said he was going to bring like a bivvy and because I mean your tent will sleep 3 people.
3 people plus your gear.
Yeah, plus your gear. So and you and Travie. I mean, and then I'd like I'll have my own little thing and yeah. And hopefully Travie's not a sleeper like you, and he can keep putting some wood on your fire if you need it.
Yeah, probably not.
Because Jake doesn't get up once he goes to bed.
Nope, not at all. The other thing to consider with this is we've had this debate, and I think we both went different directions with this. Is especially in grizzly bear country, I would say it's important in black bear, but not to the level that it is with grizzly. Because most of your black bears are pretty skittish in my experience, but a grizzly bear kind of knows it's an apex predator.
Hey, brown bear.
Brown, yeah. Grizzlies are in only one specific spot. We learned this year.
We just learned.
But a brown bear, so we're adding a pistol to this. And I decided to go with the 44 mag. Mm-hmm. I got the Smith & Wesson revolver, and I believe you went with the 10 mil.
Nope. Dave went with the 10 mil.
Dave did went 10 mil.
I am staying. I've got my Alaskan 1.5 inch. Don't like to shoot it. 44 mag.
Oh yeah.
So the Smith & Wesson Alaskan ported might help, might not. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's going to put a flame out the end of it the size of a basketball. Maybe that'll intimidate something.
Scare something.
Yeah.
But so I went with the 44 mag just because of it does create more energy on target than the 10 mil does. Mm-hmm. But the benefit to the downside to it is I've only got 6 shots and it's not as fast, right? You can't shoot it as quick versus the 10 mil.
We shot Dave's 10 mil.
And it's wonderful.
Butter smooth. Almost no recoil. He stayed on target. He was able to dump a mag in a very tight area. I mean, Yeah, it made me ponder it, but I don't know what I just watching.
Mine's the simplicity of it. I know what we hike through. I know I want my gear to be simple, and even though semi-automatics are highly reliable, there's just something about a design that's been around since the early 1800s. You just can't screw it up.
You know, if I've fallen in the creeks, if I'm just covered in mud, whatever it might be, I know that if I pull the trigger on the revolver, it's going to go off. And I'm not going to say it wouldn't happen with the semi-automatic. I just, like you, I feel a little bit more comfortable with the revolver.
Yep.
So hopefully we don't have to worry about that at all.
So and then besides gear, we've got to actually figure out what we're doing there, like how we're going to get there. That's the
that's the conundrum we always have when we go up to Montana or Wyoming or wherever the case may be.
Do you fly or do you drive?
So I think this time we're driving.
I figured it out. If you're traveling with, and I did the math this year. If you're traveling with buddies, like there's 4 of us, and you include Travis, it's cheaper to drive by the time you pay for diesel and then extra baggage fees and stuff like that. It's cheaper to drive, at least from Anderson to Montana, than it would be to fly. But if it was, this year it was 2 people was the break even.
Yeah. The big thing is the cost of shipping. If you harvest, if you have a ton of meat and stuff to bring back, that's the price of that gets crazy quick. So, and then we always have to decide, hey, we're going to do this in a day. We're going to do it in 2 days. I'm like, most of the time I'm like gung ho, hey man, let's just drive through and do it in a day. And then after about
12 hours, just sit in a car.
After New Mexico, something about New Mexico just sucks the life out of you.
For me, it's that stretch from Wichita Falls to Amarillo.
Yeah,
I hate it.
That is a desolate area. Yep. Yeah.
But and there's other things to consider. How much gear you're taking. Your extra coolers, your space. Things that I've done in the past that when it was just me traveling to hunt, or me, like when we went on the bear trip a couple years ago to White Sulphur Springs in Montana, I flew carry-on because I bought a big tub, and it ended up being about the same as another person, cost-wise, like plane ticket-wise. But what I did is I got those big black and yellow tubs you could buy at Lowe's, and a hard case for my rifle. And since I was going to go hunt with a buddy up there, I fit as much stuff, all my shoes, my pack, my gear, my clothes, much of that stuff as I could into that tote. And I zip tied the whole thing closed, and I shipped it and my hard case, my rifle, to my buddy's house.
Yeah, smart.
I think it cost $100, $125 to ship it, but
way easier than trying to get through. I mean, I've lost. It took him a day to find it, but I've had a bow misplaced, and that is a horrible, horrible feeling when you arrive somewhere specifically to hunt and they've lost your weapon.
See, that was funny because I mailed all my stuff back to me from that trip, but now I have this bear hide, and I didn't want to ship a bear hide because it has to stay cold and stuff. And so, reading the rules for the airline I was flying, we donated the meat out, so all I had was the hide and the skull, and we were able to fit it in like a little cardboard box that's about 18 inches by whatever, and we stuck it in the freezer. So we knew that by the time I left White Sulphur, got to Bozeman to get on the plane and flew home, it'd still be frozen enough, right? And so I'm sitting here checking this frozen box in with the airline, and there was these 2 ladies working, and so I set it up on the counter to weigh to make sure it fit, and the lady was asking me while I was in town. I said I was hunting. She was like, okay. And when she grabs the box and she kind of recoils back, she goes, why is it cold? I said, oh, because there's a bear in there. And she dropped it like it bit her.
Nice.
She goes, there's a whole bear in here? And it's a box like 18 by 18. I'm like, well, kind of. I said, it's just the skin and the head. And she freaked out and ended up calling the manager. And the manager came over and it was like, oh, yeah, this is fine. Just put the tag on it and shipped it off. And by the time I got to Houston, it was still 95% frozen.
Nice.
But it was funny. You'd figure an airport in a major hunting location,
there'd be
a little more like up to speed on it.
Like, oh yeah. That's just how it happens. Yeah, that's and then driving up there, there's a lot of reasons to do it too. You can stop where you want to. It's fun. It's an adventure. We get to. And
it's
I'm not going to say
the road trip's a good part.
We don't take it for granted because every time we come up like on the Tetons or
Yeah, we got somewhere to
Yellowstone
be.
or something. Like it's still just like breathtaking. It is so beautiful.
Except
what's-
when you're hanging out in Yellowstone and nobody's there because it's the day before they close for the season, and you're looking at Old Faithful waiting for it to erupt, and there's a herd of buffalo in the parking lot, and you tell your buddy Jason, "Hey,
Go pet a buffalo.
go slap that buffalo on the rear." It'd make great
Content.
it'd make great content for the Instagrams, and he doesn't do it, and we don't get good content. It's
No,
sad.
I am on there's a Facebook page as I am at Facebook, but there's a Facebook page out there. It's dedicated to people doing dumb things with buffalo at Yellowstone,
Yep.
and
It's awesome. And if you've never seen it, it will chunk a foreigner far.
far. Oh, dude, it's people.
And it's not even like it tried hard. He just like flicks his head, and then there's like a little person. Just,
I don't know as a species how we survive. Like people take their kids and try to set them on a buffalo. Like they don't. That's
think
it's
they-
not a tame buffalo.
I think they view it as like a park. Not a park,
I mean,
but like
it
like a
is,
zoo
but
or like a petting zoo.
Like a petting zoo.
Yeah, they think they're domesticated, but they're not.
They're not. And yeah, my least favorite part of driving up there is after we pack in for however long. Let's say what we're doing 5-6 days this time. It is the ride when we get back in the truck from the hunt to the first place that has a shower.
That is masculinity at its finest. We need more of that smell. We would be better as a country
That
because of that.
That's-
We have lost masculinity.
that's
sir.
that's that smell does not. It's memorable.
Just be glad that
You know.
we're driving back from
that'd be my ice water, man.
isolation,
It
because there wouldn't be a non-pregnant woman in our wake because of that. That would just raw testosterone.
That's why when we get out, they run. It's because they're so overly attracted.
Exactly.
That they're afraid they're going to make a
can't-
mistake.
Yeah,
so
they
run.
can't control
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. That absolutely makes
They're,
sense.
they're unsure of what this raw emotion overcomes them.
Oh man, it is emotional. I'll give you that. It is an emotional smell. Oh, and you can't get that, man. Nothing you can do about it besides drive. No matter how cold it is, you're rolling the windows down. I promise you. Oh. But we expected this to be with the crew we got and as much planning as James is doing and everything.
I think it's going to be pretty good, pretty successful. There's a good chance at it.
It's not a giant elevation increase, so the hike in should be pretty steady.
And I think it helps us too. We've got a guy that's been there already. He's been driving out, got boots on the ground. He's already got the drainages we want to hunt. He's got a game plan.
And we got maps and stuff like that. And if some of us are moving slower than others, Travi will see what he does and everything. I mean, there'll be times where we can split up, but we have the gear to be able to, meet back and.
So I'm hoping he gets
cool
a shot
garden
at
stuff.
one, because we've been hunting the last couple of years, and we're more duck hunters than we are deer hunters.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get him his first buck. That way he can get it mounted for the wall and brag that he shot this buck. But I was thinking this the other day, all his little friend groups have like these little basket bucks and stuff. They're bucks, but they're nothing great. There's not a single one of his friends that's got a bear.
Has he
They
been
come back-
practicing shooting at all? That's a biggie. That's a biggie, especially. Ooh, I think buck fever's bad. Bear fever, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's good. I'm excited for him.
I'm excited for him, too.
There's so many good things going to happen from this trip.
I absolutely agree. I'm super excited, and it's going to be the camping, the cooking, the whole adventure of
Yeah.
it, right? And he's still at the age like this. This is a core memory. This is something that he's going to remember
See,
forever.
my dad was never a big outdoors guy,
yeah, mine either.
but I got to go for a little while there. Him and his little friend group would go out to West Texas and kind of goof off and do the kind of same idea. But they would just ride dirt bikes, or they go like cruise down the Devil's River or something. They go do something. I got invited one time. I remember that entire trip. And, I felt like I was one of the
Yeah.
boys. I was grown up.
This is it. This is
awesome.
this is his bat mitzvah. This is him coming into manhood,
Oh, yeah.
man. This is big.
Yeah, I wasn't much older. I was maybe 14, 15.
There's a self-sufficiency too. I think he's going to get off of this. A feeling of, hey, I can do this. Like,
Yeah, I hope he comes back like Jeremiah Johnson.
He
And nothing but buckskin, big beard.
he's going to come back with a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see it happening.
Well,
And then,
what was the old timer? What was his name? Tin Bears is from Outlaw Josie Wells.
Yeah. No, the you skin Grizz Pilgrim. Mm-hmm. I don't remember his name.
Oh heck. Anyways,
I got you, Grizz. I'll be back. I'll have you another one here for too long. Yeah, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. That was funny.
I ought to watch that movie with him. Be like, hey, this is where we're going.
Yeah. Oh, he'd dig that.
Well, hey, speaking of that, which is fun. I was watching while I was doing paperwork earlier. Me and my ADHD, I have to have something going. That I was watching Hateful Eight in the bridge.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, I know where that's at.
We've been there.
I was like, that mountain sucks.
What do you think his longest shot? Ethically, comfortably, where do you think he's at?
200 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no drop compensation. That's where I would put him to. That's where I put my
Just
kid.
put it dead center, let it roll.
Yep. That's it.
And my plan is probably tomorrow evening, or I got a competition this weekend when we get back. Try to get out, let him stretch out a little bit. Go hang some steel, maybe 300-400 yards. Just kind of let him get behind the rifle and give it a try.
Yeah. If you're comfortable at 400 yards, then 200 yards all of a sudden is me.
That's my thought exactly.
Easy. Yeah. What he's going to be shooting your 6.5? Cool.
I mean, with the can on it, there's no recoil. It'd be perfect. And realistically, if he harvests a bear, it'd be amazing. If he doesn't, it's going to be an epic trip for him no matter what. And because of that, I'm all about it. I'm gonna buy
we've been on
tag.
enough hunts to where we haven't killed anything that we're really good at justifying. It's about the hunt. It's not about the kill.
Oh yeah, we can make an excuse up.
Yeah, because if it was about the kill, we wouldn't be too happy. But this is our year, dude. I feel it. From elk to giant tuna with Captain Bob.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have a good season.
We've got a lot going on. But the bear hunt is the start of it all. So it'll be super exciting. And then what if he kills a bear? What are you gonna do? Like a little full body mount for him, or are you gonna rug in his room?
Yeah, get him a rug.
Yeah, you got to do it Addams Family style though, where the head's kind of up and mouth's open, and you can stab your foot in there really good with the claw still in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That way, everybody who comes to the house, that's my bear.
That's my bear. No big deal.
I got it in Montana. It's no big.
It'd make a pretty cool. Get it. He doesn't have a real big bed, so put it on his bed. That way, there's. Just...
I'd say make a headdress out of it, but the fact is, I know your kid. He'd wear it to school every day.
Every day.
He would never stop. He'd be that kid. Just go full on mountain man. Oh,
that'd be worse for him.
I'm excited about it. We'll talk about it a little bit more. I mean, we've still got 5 weeks out, so this is just what's on our mind right now. This is the point where
we're talking about it every day.
Yeah.
We find something on X. We're finding something on X. Hey, look at what do you think about this valley? All right, so if the bears are going to be looking for, they're going to be starving. They're just now starting to kind of come out of hibernation, really get moving around. By the time we get there, they'll be in full swing, but they're still going to be trying to put in all that fat, all that muscle mass they lost during hibernation. And it was a hard winter this year for them, and it stayed colder longer, so that they really kind of delayed coming out of hibernation. And so, we're trying to find old burns, any blowdown, water sources, south-facing slopes, because that's where they're going to be. That's going to green up the fastest. They're going to be looking for bugs and tubers and grass. And
I mean, pretty much when we're in the mountains, no matter what we're chasing, we're looking for south-facing slopes. That's just where it is.
Typically.
Yeah, seems to be. But I'm excited about it. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But I'm pumped. And then we, here in a few weeks, we get to tell the story of how it all went down.
Oh yeah, and hopefully we're going to try to videotape a lot of this.
Yeah, we're going to try to videotape a lot of this hunt, and we're going to do a podcast from camp. So that'll be a new experience from us.
That'd be different.
That'd be fun. Or not. We're going to find out.
We're going to figure something out.
See how much equipment we can lug in there. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
This has been an awesome experience so far. And y'all are helping it happen. If you got friends and stuff, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, just let them know about it. If you enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
And if you got any questions about our experiences, gear, we're not. I mean, we are far from experts, but we have some mileage behind us that we are always happy to talk about it. And
that was our big thing, right? Is getting into it.
Yeah.
It's from taking it from where, hey. I want to do this.
How do you do it? That's the hard one. We'll do a whole nother episode on how you do it, especially And it'll be in the future because most of the draws are over now, or the entries at least. But we'll talk about how we're planning and how you get into it, because that's, for me, the most daunting part of it.
You know, and it's the big thing I think we've learned as people who've done it and make connections in the area.
Mm-hmm.
That is the invaluable part. The people who live in the area, they know what's going on more than you would ever be able to figure out in the 5 or 7 days that you're there in the area. And you can make a friend there. You know, hey, swap a hunt. You know, hey, let me come kill a bear. I'm going to bring you down. We're going to get some pigs, alligators, whatever that we have down here.
So, because there's guaranteed there's something here that they want to hunt just the same as there's something there you want to hunt.
Yeah. It's that quid pro quo, this for that, and it works out really well. And you wind up making these awesome lifelong friends that are in the exact same boat as you. They might be you might be the most skilled whitetail, hog, whatever hunter here, but you don't know anything about up there, and they're feeling the same way about down here.
I'll tell you this, it is a learning curve.
Yeah, you would be really surprised how even hunting guides from up north, how out of their element they feel when you take them hog hunting for the first time. You know, they've never hunted at night before. And all they've heard is these stories about these monsters that come at you in the dark and cut you up.
Bite you.
Yeah, which is, not the case typically. I mean, we might not tell you that right off, but it's kind of fun to spook people a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
But
I got that scar.
Yeah. That, and there's equipment we have here, and there's equipment they have up there that
does a jive.
I mean, well, mine is the hey, if I'm in Montana and I'm going to come down here hog hunting, I'm not taking a side-by-side the whole way. I know some guys do.
Yep.
But sure is nice to have a buddy that has one that's willing to take you out.
Exactly.
So. Well, cool, guys. Well, y'all enjoy the remainder of your week.
Remember, like, share, subscribe, and just tell people about it. If you like what you're hearing.
Come into the store. Say hi, man. We love hearing everybody's opinions about it and, what you think. And then get to enjoy the store. I mean, that's the base of all this we have a really
It's designed to be a good time.
Yeah. From the time you walk in to the time you leave, you're guaranteed to have a smile on your face. It is a blast.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. All right, guys. We sure appreciate it. Holler if you need anything. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
You've been listening to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast with your hosts Jake Cawthon and Jason Westmoreland. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. New episodes drop every Monday, and catch up in between episodes on the Circle Star Minute every Friday. For more information, visit CircleStarFirearms.com, or better yet, come see our great new store at 6320 Highway 90 in Anderson, Texas. Until next time, safe shooting, folks.